Good morning, everyone. We'll go ahead and call our Tuesday, April 18th regular meeting of the Board of Mason County Commissioners to order. We'll begin with our Pledge of Allegiance. Jerry Eckenrode, if you would please lead us in today's pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And if the clerk would please take the roll.
Commissioner District 1, Randy Netherland.
I'm here.
Commissioner District 2, Kevin Schutte.
Here.
Commissioner District 3, Terry Jeffries.
Here.
Thank you. Number 4 is correspondence and organizational business. If the clerk would please report the correspondence.
Island Enterprises sent a letter regarding the Squaxin Island tribe having a second location on which marijuana processing and production activities may take place under its marijuana compact with the state of Washington. Dorothy Meyer sent an application for the Board of Equalization. The Liquor and Cannabis Board sent a liquor license for Harstein Island Community Club at 3371 East Harstein Island Road North. And Turning Point sent a letter about specialized service grant for the Office of Crimes Victims Advocacy.
Okay, thank you. Item number 5 on our agenda is open forum for citizen input. This is an opportunity for members of the public to address the Commission on items that aren't on today's agenda. We do have a group of special guests with us this morning, and so I know we'll have at least one person who will come up and address the Commission. But before that, are there any other members of the public that would like to address the Commission?
Press release real quick.
Oh, sure.
4.2.
Oh, okay.
It's okay. All right. Press release. Grant program benefits the mentally ill and chemically dependent. Mason County residents who are mentally ill, chemically dependent, or who have co-occurring disorders will benefit from programs funded through the Sales and Use Tax Program. Mason County is soliciting project proposals to fund services from the Sales and Use Tax from July 1, 2017 through June 30th, 2018. The total amount available is $250,000. Projects will be eligible activities as outlined in the application packet. Applications must be received by the county no later than 4 p.m. on Tuesday, May 23rd, 2017. And for the benefit of the applicants, one RFP application workshop will be held on Tuesday, May 2nd, 2017 at the Public Health Building located at 415 North 6th Street, Shelton, Washington from 10 until 12, and a voluntary oral presentation of proposals scheduled between 9 a.m. and noon on Tuesday, May 16th, 2017. Application materials can be found on the Mason County website under the What's New section at www.co.mason.wa.us. Contact person, Todd Parker, Mason County Housing and Behavioral Health Program Coordinator, Community Services and Public Health, 415 North 6th Street, Shelton, Washington, 98584. Phone number 360-427-9670, extension 293. Email tparker@co.mason.wa.gov. Thank you.
Thanks, Todd. Appreciate it. Okay, so back to item 5. Jody, if you'd like to come up and introduce the group to us, would appreciate that. Yeah, you can have all the. I think it would be fantastic if the students would just share their name and their home country and where they're studying here in the United States.
Yes, I'm Jody Moore. I'm the field manager and coordinator for the Aspect Foundation. We're a nonprofit student exchange, and we're currently looking for host families for the 2017-18 school year. But what I have are some unique kids that have won a scholarship on a very prestigious grant through the Youth Exchange Study and the Future Leader Exchange Program. So come up and introduce yourselves.
Hi, my name is Erin van de Westhuizen. I'm from South Africa and I'm studying at North Kitsap High School in Poulsbo.
Hello, my name is Lamhe Binte Rahman. I'm from Bangladesh and I'm going to Klahawiya in Sibe.
Hi, my name is Monika. I'm from Poland and I go to North Mason High School.
Hi, my name is Oshrina. I go to Bremerton High School and I'm from Lithuania.
Hi everyone, my name is Al Ben-Zarmin, but you can call me Al for short. It's my pleasure to speak and introduce myself to all of you guys. I'm 17 years old. I'm from Philippines. I'm studying at Tirano High School, South Olympia, and I'm a senior. Thank you.
And so that you know, these kids are here to do 30 hours of community service for the whole year. When they go back home, they're going to take that community service that they've learned and try to get it implemented into their country. And then that's it.
Jody, what kind of projects have they worked on this year with you?
Well, we are working on a big one, and I had to push it back for one more week. We are going to be donating blankets and stuffed toys to the Port Orchard Police Department for when they go pick up children to take them into the foster care if there's an accident or fire. They have done just a lot more involvement in school. Some of their community service that we have gone has been the local Indian reservation, Skookum Tribe, where they learned about diversity. We've visited with Port Orchard Mayor for leadership, and we've done Sue's Lavender Juice Bar for small market economy, and then we're here today for government.
Great. So I hate to put the kids on the spot.
Oh, that's good.
Maybe wanted so full disclosure. So Monica is staying with my wife Catherine and I. It's just been a tremendous experience for us. But maybe if you could share an experience that you've had here in the United States that you'll remember for the rest of your life, something a good memory that you'll take home with you.
Recently, I was volunteering at a local food bank for Kitsap, basically, and they work a lot with. They also have different other stores, like a clothing store and a furniture store, to help people who are struggling. And when I was volunteering there, I met a man there that he never had anything, so he stayed with one of the people that worked at who basically owned Fishland, and he stayed with them and he worked at Fishland every single day, and they helped him find a job and everything. And talking to him and like seeing his courage and how he's just improved his life and how much he's grown and how he's doing really well now really impacted me. So it was really nice talking to him, and I will remember him probably forever.
So before coming to America, Lithuania is not really religious, and so I never thought that I would, have God help me in this experience. And so when I came here, my host parents took me to a church, and I was skeptical in the beginning because, well, I'm not religious, so I wasn't religious back then, so I was just, there for the experience. And so I started going to church more and more, and I started going to youth, and I found all these amazing friends, and I started, getting more and more involved with volunteering there and helping, with kids when they have a service. The kids stay in like a different place and they play, and we play with them. And I just found a completely different side of me that I didn't know I had. And yeah.
Great.
I know. Okay.
Anyone else? Al?
Grown man cry.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry for my voice because I'm not feeling well today. As an exchange student, not a whole time or a whole year that you're always happy, or there's some time that you feel lost or feel bad or feel homesickness. But I'm here to represent my country and to represent my religion. I'm a Muslim. And I'll give you some background about the YES program. The YES program was implemented after the 9/11 bombing in New York. It was like bombing in New York, and they saying that trend is from Iraq, which is the Muslim people. And I'm here to share my cultures, my values, to implement that some Muslim, not all Muslims are not terrorists or they're kind, something like that. That's why President John F. Kennedy and Senator Richard Lugar implement this program to sharing cultures with each other and connecting lives. As here in America, I've done already like many volunteers. Like I joined the competition in homeless shelter in in Olympiad, which is funded by CTE, I think it is competition by all schools, and I joined that to share my skills. I did the sketching of the house and something like that, and it's really fun helping people, helping homeless Americans, something like that, and I did fun. Yeah, thank you.
Great.
Anyone
Great.
else? Monica, Lamhay?
We will wait until you come up with a story.
Did you know, to make you even more nervous, did you know you guys are all been on TV?
What?
Jeez.
No, that is in my bucket list. Okay. Okay. So the most exciting experience, I guess, it was going to California during spring break. My host family took me to California. We drove there, and yeah, I met new people, and the environment was kind of like back home because there were so many people, the constructions, building billboards, so all those things like made me feel like home, and it was a good experience, and I loved it. Yeah.
Okay, so the most important thing what I learned here it was that it's really important to be involved in our community, what I've never done in my home country. So I know now that it's really easy to change something if we only want to do this. So what I learned here is to just try and change something, and it's what I'm going to do at home.
Good. Good.
Yeah, so if anyone is interested in here who would like to host, I do have Christine, who's down in the Olympia area with me today, that's a local coordinator. And I have phone numbers, and we would love to have host families come and give more kids a chance like they're getting. So thank you.
Do you have any questions for the commissioner?
Oh, any questions? Yes.
I forget names, but the young lady from South Africa, what city in South Africa are you?
I'm from Durban, in
Durban.
KwaZulu-Natal.
Okay. Can you talk to me a little bit about, I'm old enough that I remember when apartheid had been destroyed, and can you talk to me about what you know of the history of that, and whether or not that has been carried on as a history? There was a gentleman that I knew at the time, he says, I get to write all new history books because it's going to be our new history. Mm-hmm. Is there anything you want to share about?
There is problems with racism, and there's problems with racism, but the segregation and the extent of the racism that was present during apartheid has long been gone.
Good.
And especially with the new generation, it's basically non-existent. And even if it is, it's quickly squashed out, basically. When you talk to the older generations, there's still a vague sense of racism, but it's getting really good, and it's almost not noticeable. Our classes are completely mixed up. Like, there's probably 5 different races in just one classroom, just on a overall. So it's basically non-existent.
I truly believe it's your generation that's just going to wipe that out
Yeah,
of the earth.
it's really nice.
It's good to
see the
hear.
difference.
Thank you.
No problem.
You guys did a wonderful job. Just to help you out when you get home, Mason Web TV will also, MasonWebTV.com, so you can also share it with your friends.
Share with your family back home.
Yep.
Yeah, very good. Well, thank you so much for stopping here today, and I hope that I hope that the rest of your experience in America is everything that you want it to be, and we wish you all the best in your travels home and all of your future endeavors. So, thank you so much.
Little treat. Thank you. What a treat for us.
Okay, item number 6 on today's agenda is the adoption of our agenda, and I would entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I move that we adopt the agenda as presented.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded that we adopt today's agenda as presented. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? And the motion carries. Item 7, approval of minutes. We have minutes from March 20th, 2017's briefing. I'll entertain a motion to approve.
Mr. Chair, I move for the approval of the March 20th, 2017 briefing minutes as presented.
And I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the March 20th, 2017 briefing minutes as presented. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, say aye.
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 All opposed? Motion carries. Item 8 is the approval of our action agenda for today. Not exactly a lengthy list as compared to the previous weeks, but we will go through and read the items on today's list, and after that, we will entertain discussion and questions, and if a commissioner or a member of the public would like an item separated for additional discussion and a separate vote, we will entertain that at that time as well. Commissioner Netherland, if you would take item 8.1, and Commissioner Jeffries, item 8.2.
Mr. Chairman, item 8.1, approval of warrants. Claims clearing fund warrants number 8047650 through 8047920 for the amount of $711,918.71. Direct deposit fund warrants number 39833 through 40226 for the amount of $663,925.47. Salary Clearing Fund, warrants number 7002678 through 7002717 for the amount of $956,307.26. Approval of the Treasurer's Electronic Remittance, MACECOM, $108,728.10. Mental Health, $905.66. Indirect charges for road, $559,229. Indirect charges for ER&R, $83,690. ER&R interfund loan and current expense, $148,118.45 for a total, $2,609,089.03.
Item 8.2, approval of the Veterans Assistance Fund for applications for necessity items totaling $750, utilities totaling $2,600.14, and housing $1,600 for a total of $4,950.14.
Okay, is there any discussion on the items on today's action agenda?
That's my share. Folks, that's $2,609,089 that we're spending right now. Just to let you give what all those numbers are about.
Who would have thought it would be that easy? And yet that hard. Okay, I would entertain a motion to approve our action agenda today.
Mr. Chair, I move for the approval of the action agenda items as presented.
And I'll second.
Moved and seconded that we approve today's action agenda as presented. Any additional discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Item number 9, other business, is an opportunity for department heads and elected officials to address the commission. Any elected department heads? Okay. We have a public hearing scheduled, but we can't begin our public hearings until 9:30. That's the time that we've selected. So we have to, we'll move on to item number 11. In the meantime, that's our board reports and calendars. We'll begin with Commissioner Jeffries.
So following last week's regular commission meeting, we did have a briefing on our cash flows. I'm here in the county. Had a special meeting of the Lewis Mason Thurston Area Agency on Aging where we received the recommendation of the search committee for the replacement of our executive director. We had a finance committee meeting on Wednesday the 12th. It was a finance committee of the Olympic Region Clean Air Authority where we took a first look at the budget for next year. Had a regular meeting of the Olympic Region Clean Air Authority and then followed that with a personnel committee to do an evaluation or to set up the evaluation process for our executive director, Fran McNair. Commissioner Netherland and I both attended the Water Resource Group meeting at the Conservation District in which we received a presentation by a hydrologist showing us the methodologies and some of the findings of stream flows and interconnectivity of our underground water resources to some of our rivers and streams that are critical for salmon habitat. We had a Lodging Tax Advisory Committee meeting in which we put together the skeleton of our request for proposals for contracting in the next year. We are moving towards something called the Destination Marketing Organization. We would like to receive those services to help build not only the tourism marketing for Mason County, but also the tourism product of what Mason County, to enhance the visitor experience here. as well as visitor information centers. Had the absolute joy of attending a ribbon cutting for our new refurbished fields at the MCRA baseball park. Well attended, and it was great to be there with the high school students and the Little League student players that used the park, and they were very grateful. We had consistent rains the night before and was told by the park superintendents that there was not a single, they played through the rain. So these refurbished fields make these parks virtually usable at all weathers, and there's no rainouts. So that was a very good investment, and I think that it'll bring more and more tournaments here to Mason County. Had a work session of the Thurston Mason Behavioral Health where we discussed the role of the Behavioral Health Organization moving towards a separate entity of Thurston County and Mason County as a standalone and potentially an LLC. And then we had a wonderful meeting, as the first starting meeting of criminal justice stakeholders with our behavioral health organization and our contractor to start setting up protocols for jail diversion when law enforcement encounters folks who are breaking committing very low-level crimes, and mostly due to their substance use disorder and their mental health disorder, to divert them from our criminal justice system into treatment. And so we'll be continuing regular meetings to set up protocols, determining which crimes are eligible for this diversion, and just the protocols for how the training would happen for Mason County and City of Shelton police officers. So we had our Easter weekend over the weekend, and that was wonderful weather for the weekend. And then we had our briefings yesterday. Following today's meeting, we will have a Mason Transit Authority regular meeting, and it'll be at the Port of Allen meetings. I'm meeting with representatives of the Shelton Shark, who are trying to bring a YMCA here. Had some discussions. They're looking for some funds for feasibility study of bringing a YMCA here, and so I think I can connect them with some funding sources at the state Recreational Conservation Office, and so we'll see if we can help them get going on that. We have a Hood Canal Coordinating Council meeting on Wednesday, and then a special meeting of the Behavioral Health Organization, and then our regular meeting, and then I'll be meeting with the Civil Service Committee here in Mason County. I've been invited to both pick up litter and speak with some young folks who will be working with Kevin Schmelzen on Saturday in honor of Earth Day to do some litter pickup here in Mason County with Shelton to the Top. And then back here on Monday for briefings.
Great. Commissioner Netherland?
All right. We had our briefing in regards to cash flow. Then I went and had a visit with the Board of Equalization. I also attended the Housing Coalition meeting. Before attending the Housing Coalition meeting, I went over and ended up speaking with the Director of Public Works because I was early and then ended up being late for the Housing Coalition meeting. Funny how that works. Veterans Assistance Board. Also attended the same meeting as Commissioner Jeffries with the inflow issue with the Water Conservation District and the tribe. Attended a Democratic meeting, Historic Society meeting, MCRA ribbon cutting. It was wonderful. And Commissioner Jeffries, you can take a hit. On the video online shows her getting hit again and again with the errant foul ball, and she actually.
I wish I had my glove.
Well, you actually ran it down and chased it. You didn't sit there and go ouch. You actually went and chased the ball down. So.
Thanks for that, Jeff. That was fun.
Union City had a very special meeting that was supposed to be recognizing a past commissioner, William Hunter, but apparently he had been in a car accident recently and then fell over and actually hurt himself pretty bad. So that's been postponed, but I hear he's doing better and getting stronger, but it was pretty bad on his body, and if you have, if you don't mind, throw him in your prayers. Let's see, we had the retirement party scheduled for Ricky at the MTA, but she had a family issue that occurred. So I ended up going through there and I did an inspection of the new buses. When they're brand new with all those dark windows, it looks like Mason County Transit Authority has big giant party buses now. That's what they look like with the tinted windows, and I just expected the music to start blaring. And Community Action Council meeting with the members of Community Action Council, Mason County Transportation Access Partnerships that I attended on your behalf, and again, it went extremely well. We have a lot to be thankful for the people that are in that room. It looks like they're going to work together to create a organization where each one will stand up for the other and help move some of our transportation projects forward, of which you will be the representative on that. I just filled in for you on that
Thank
one.
you for attending.
My pleasure, Commissioner. That brought us back to our briefings again yesterday. After we're done here, I'll be meeting with a member of the board for the Mason County Sportsmen's Association. Then we have our Mason Transit Authority meeting, North Mason Chamber of Commerce Board meeting. I will be also meeting with Peninsula Community Health Services, Business Retention Committee meeting. I have a developer up in North Mason who's bringing a bunch of people together again, asking me to attend. I have another meeting with Derek Kilmer is coming out. Congressman Kilmer is coming out to North Mason, and they're bringing a slew of people, but also the owner of the business is bringing out the Navy and a bunch of others to try and bring about economic development and other possibilities for the North Mason area. An ABC, Allen Belfair Cooperative. I have a Mount Moriah Temple Board meeting, the PRTPO, Peninsula Regional Transportation Organization meeting. It brings us back to our briefings, then North Mason Community Voice on Monday night, and then we have the all-elected meeting on Tuesday.
Okay, very good. So last week I visited with the Parks and Trails Advisory Board and the TIPCAP Citizens Advisory Panel, deals with transportation issues, to thank them for their volunteerism and their service to the county. It's really a great opportunity for us to get out and meet with the advisory boards, and so I appreciated hearing some of the things that they're working on. Also attended the Port of Hoodsport regular meeting. Talked a lot about some issues that they're working on, some opportunities, including getting electric vehicle chargers, a good public-private partnership with the IGA there in Hoodsport that they're working towards. Also, they're building a disc golf course up at their park, which is a pretty competitive and kind of up-and-coming sport. So a lot of that is volunteer labor, and so they're working on putting together what will be they are very certain that it'll be a very challenging course, and it'll attract a lot of people. And then also they're getting ready for shrimp season. So out on Hood Canal. So that starts May 6th. May 6th, 10th, 17th, and 20th are the 4 days that folks can get out there and go shrimping on Hood Canal. So looking forward to seeing all those boats out there and getting some of those really, really good Hood Canal spot prawns. So mark your calendars for that. After today's meeting, I'll be spending some time with the exchange students and talking about local government and any issues and questions that they might have on their minds. And then I'll be at the MTA, the Mason Transit meeting this afternoon. Criminal Justice Working Team is meeting again tomorrow. And then after that, I'll be attending the Solid Waste Advisory Committee meeting to present them with their volunteer appreciation certificates and get an update on some of the things that they're working on, followed by the Hood Canal Coordinating Council meeting. Thursday, I'll be down in Olympia at the Capitol with the Washington Association of Counties Legislative Steering Committee. As you may or may not know, we're getting close to the end of the regular legislative session, and all but certain that we'll be heading into yet another special session. So this will be our last time meeting as a legislative steering committee for the regular session, and then they're going to be going to a more of an on-call kind of approach. So I've made myself available to the Association of Counties just due to our proximity to the Capitol. If they can't get some of those folks to come over from Eastern Washington, save them a trip on issues that are important to counties. I was recently appointed to the State Building Code by Governor Inslee, State Building Code Council, and so I will be participating in my first meeting with the State Building Code Council on Friday morning. That does put me in a conflict with the PRTPO, but if one ends, I may end up making it out to PRTPO, but I know Commissioner Netherland will be there as well. And then next week we have our meeting with all the elected officials in the county. We have a few big issues that we're working on related to the budget and cash flow here in the county, so we're going to get together with all the elected officials and get them up to speed on some of the options that we're considering, and then get their input on the various things that they're working on in their own offices. So really looking forward to it. That's the first time this year that we've had a chance to gather with all of the other electeds in the county. So really looking forward to that opportunity. And then we'll be here for our evening meeting next Tuesday. So that is my calendar, Commissioner.
Commissioner, two things. Just a reminder for your friends up there in Hoodsport, Johnson Controls is willing to work with them to help bring in grants for that electronic fuel station. They already do that stuff, and they've been trying to work with certain entities we know in North Mason, so I'm sure they'd be happy to work with you. And how much money are they looking for the YMCA?
It's about $50,000. But they're willing to make the match. So, we can be very creative.
This is such an important thing. Is it something that we might want to consider as a commission having a discussion on?
And I'm thinking, I was thinking about pools of money. If there was, in here, do we have anything we could grant that would be appropriate funding source? But I think that we might be able to get something out of RCO, but there may be a match, and they did say that they could make that match. But we'll find out further after I have this discussion with them.
I think perhaps, so I had a conversation with them as well last week. So maybe after your meeting, you
I'd
can
be happy
update
to.
us on Monday at our briefings, and then gauge their need and some of their other opportunities, and then we can, I think it would merit having a further discussion with the commission as to, I think our commitment is certainly very, very strong. It would be a great opportunity. I know it would be down here, but the whole county would benefit from having a YMCA here. And I remember when that was presented to us here a few weeks ago, just the excitement, of thinking that we have this opportunity. And so whatever we can do to make it very clear that we're supportive of their efforts.
Okay,
So,
I will. We'll have a discussion on that. Thank you.
any other items from the commission? We'll move on.
I just wanted to share, I did also do a volunteer appreciation presentation to our Planning Advisory Committee, and the chair of that committee is also the chair of the Economic Development Council Board. And he shared with me yesterday that, as you may or may not know, Lynn Longan, the executive director, had gone on a mission trip, so to speak, in China, which has already resulted in 2 investor groups wanting to come tour the county and look at opportunities. So that was a worthwhile trip just within the first couple weeks. So
Very good. Good to hear that. And I'm sure Lynn will come in at the appropriate time and
let us know
fill
about
us
it.
in on some of those opportunities. Very good. Okay, well, we're going to go back on the agenda to item 10 now that we have passed 9:30, and we'll have our public hearing. It's a public hearing to consider supplemental and budget transfer requests to the 2017 budget, and I invite Jennifer Sleva to brief the commission.
First time, so bear with me. I'm sure I'm all organized here. So we have supplemental appropriations and budget transfer requests. I just like to point out that most of the appropriations are grant appropriations, so that they have a revenue and expense line. So impact there will not be any sort of significant impact to the county, because there will be revenues and expenses for that. And then the transfers are for the Veterans and Community Support, which is a housekeeping issue, and then a left to Support Services, which is also just a housekeeping issue. We're just moving from one to the other. So as far as supplemental appropriations, there's $1,346,534 for the Department of Commerce State Grant. There is $71,903.84 for the CDBG Public Service Grant, $269,210 for the CDBG Economic Opportunity Grant, $247,119.03 for the Washington State Conservation Commission VSP Work Plan Development Grant, $275,000 for the funding for the building purchase for the Behavioral Health Organization, $196 for the Becca Grant, $3,062 for the CASA Grant. Budget transfers of $100,000 from the Veterans Fund to the Community Support Services, $47,744.56 transfer from Left 1 to Left 1 Support Services. Does anyone have any questions?
You read on the budget transfer the $100,000 a little differently than it's written here. So could you repeat to me what that $100,000 transfer is?
On the budget order? Yeah, on the budget order versus the budget hearing form the budget hearing form is transposed compared to the actual order. So
Got
the
it,
order
okay.
is correct. The transfer is incorrect. The hearing form is incorrect. So it's going from the Veterans Fund to Community Support Services, and that is a housekeeping issue due to some year-end rollovers versus what was in GL versus bank accounts. There was a corrective error that should have occurred in a cash entry that happened in a GL entry. So it's a housekeeping, more of a housekeeping, year-end housekeeping.
Okay.
Any additional questions for Jennifer from the commission? Okay. At this time, I'll open up public comment. If you would please approach the podium. Chair will recognize you if you just state your name.
Good morning, Commissioners. Tom Davis. As you know, I serve on the Veterans Advisory Assistance Fund Board, and Jennifer was nice enough to pull me aside here and explain in painful detail how this housekeeping measure works, because when we see this, of course, they send me here and to come back with a logical and reasonable explanation, although I am particularly satisfied being on the record is a necessity. So I'm not going to question this any longer. This is one of those items that just is a life of its own and has traveled from one year to another. But I will take the opportunity to speak on something that's related to that, and that's the process by which these items, in terms of large sums of money, are enter into and leave our Veterans Assistance Fund, which is of great concern to us, simply because of some history that we've had along those lines that I won't get into. But with conversations with Frank Pinter recently, and he's appeared at our meetings twice, and Commissioner Netherland has now appeared at our meetings twice, and we've been told that during these times when there are atypical expenses that are charged to the assistance fund, there'll be a process prior to that. In other words, it just won't appear as an action item agenda. It'll appear first as a request as you consider it during your briefing, and then we would be notified, so we would be involved in the situation. The reason for that is not that we have any vast authority over the way the money is being spent, but for purposes of long-term planning, we can't afford any surprises, because we run a pretty tight ship, as I like to say from time to time, and we do a great deal of good with a little bit of money. And there was a time when this was a very direct approach. There was never any monies going in other than the levies, and there was never any monies going out that we didn't recommend. That seems to have changed with some of the restructuring, I believe, that has tried to make more flexibility in funds, shifting money from one fund to another. Since I consider our $76,000 to $78,000 a year something in the line of budget dust, we'd all appreciate it. And I've been told to tell you, I don't speak just for myself, but for the committee, that anytime there's a consideration by this board to have atypical expenses, we'd appreciate to be involved in that process. And that way we wouldn't have to stand here trying to, after the fact, trying to get explanations of large sums of money going in and out. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tom. Any other comments from the public on? Okay, seeing none, I will close the public comment portion of our public hearing. Any commissioner discussion?
Mr. Chair, looking through the purposes of so many of these transfers, I just wanted to highlight that there are some very, very interesting and encouraging work going on behind a lot of these. We have the item 269,000 increase to the CDBG Economic Opportunity Grant. This is a business creation opportunity for folks to learn how to start their own business, and then seed monies to go ahead and capitalize a new business. And I think that is a wonderful opportunity. Plus, the volunteer stewardship program was something that the Farm Bureau has worked really hard to implement. It was in law, but with no funding. And what this does is it gives agricultural landowners an opportunity to do mitigation or critical area protection that is that meets their needs also in agriculture. And I truly believe that what we'll end up seeing is critical area protections above and beyond, and an opportunity for us to learn in our own critical area ordinances some different approaches, because basically our critical area ordinance right now is an adoption of the state best available science. But when we get to create our own science, I think it gives us an opportunity to maybe think a little bit more outside the box. So I just wanted to just point out there's some really great things going on here in these transfers.
Thank you. Commissioner? Okay, at this time I would entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I would move that the Board of County Commissioners approve the following 2017 supplemental appropriations and budget transfer requests. $1,346,534, Department of Commerce State Grant Revenue and Expense. Supplemental appropriations to the current expense non-departmental of $1,346,534, Department of Commerce State Grant Revenue and Expense, $71,903.84 for CDBG Public Services Grant Revenue and Expense, $269,210 for CDBG Economic Opportunity Grant Revenue and Expense, $247,119.03 for VSP Work Plan Development Grant Revenue and Expense. Mental Health Fund, $275,000 for the Behavioral Health Organization building purchase. Current Expense Probation Services, $3,062 for the CASA Grant Revenue and Expense, and $196 decrease budget for the BECA Grant Revenue and Expense. Correct me if I'm getting this wrong. A budget transfer of $100,000 from the Veterans Fund to Community Support Services for year-end corrections, $47,744.56 from the Sheriff Left 1 to Support Services Left 1. Also approve the resolution for the transfer of the Left 1 program from the Sheriff's Office to Support Services Department.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the following 2017 supplemental appropriations and budget transfer requests. Supplemental appropriations to current expense, non-departmental, as presented before us. Any further discussion?
I guess it should just be noted that the $275,000 from our mental health fund to the Behavioral Health Organization building purchase is the old PUD 3 building. We put out an RFP for architectural services to design the retrofit to a new triage center here in Mason County. Very excited.
Very good.
I also would like to point out that the shifting of the $47,744.56 from the sheriff's budget to our budget is at his request, not at our own. He didn't want to do those services anymore and wants us to do them.
Okay, hearing no further discussion, I'll call for the vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? And the motion carries. And I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Mr. Chair, I move that we adjourn.
Second?
We are adjourned. Have a good day, everyone.